If you were a kid growing up in the early 2000s, chances are you turn on the Disney Channel every day after school and are more than familiar with the American TV show That's So Raven.
Let's go. If you could gaze into the future, you might think life would be a breeze.
That's So Raven ran for a record-breaking 4 seasons between the years of 2003 and 2007. The main character, Raven Baxter, is a teenager with psychic abilities, able to see into the future. With the help of her 2 best friends, Chelsea and Eddie, Raven uses her powers and disguises to get out of sticky and oftentimes hilarious situations. Her visions only provide short glimpses into the future and usually results in her misreading a situation. For the first time, a black girl was the star of a Disney show, openly displaying her black girlhood. Black girlhood can be defined as the experience and development of black girls during their adolescent years. These developmental years are very influential in understanding how these girls grow up to understand their identity and place in society. In a study done about the shared experience of black girlhood amongst black women, the participants began discussing their girlhood and the ways they understood their own hair and beauty during that time. They were speaking about not seeing themselves or their hair represented in the dolls, fairy tales, and stories they knew as children. The idea of not seeing yourself in popular culture and media dramatically affects the way you understand yourself. Children of color who see people who look like them on television results in higher self-esteem about their racial and ethnic groups. To have a character like Raven Baxter on a popular TV network channel was huge. This character was now in the homes of millions, and now millions of black girls can connect with this character they saw on their screens. To understand the significance of Raven Baxter, we must first take into consideration the era of popular culture in the 2000s and how black girls defined themselves at that time. During the 90s and early 2000s, there were a handful of TV shows that depicted black girlhood on screen, proving that there's no one way to depict black girlhood. Moesha, The Parkers, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Sister Sister, 101, The Bernie Mac Show, and House of Pain. All of these shows featured young, influential black girls in the forefront. In these shows, we saw these girls in roles that were parallel to the lives and situations of typical black girls at the time. They felt relatable through their style, mannerisms, and speech. In the early 2000s, celebrity culture was huge, and magazines had a big influence on young girls at the time. From Vanity Fair, Teen Vogue, 17, Cosmo Girl, young celebrity women had adolescence in the chokehold. The rise of digital media during this time changed how young girls interacted with media in their everyday lives. Girls were gaining more access to these celebrities, which inspired them to be more like those stars. Now they had access to celebrities' favorite lip glosses, their zodiac signs, even their favorite pair of pumps. Girls saw their glamour and beauty, and they wanted to copy it. In a study on the effects of media on girls, it was concluded that racialized girls do not identify with white media images. In the early 2000s, black girls looked up to celebrities such as Brandy, Nia Long, Keke Palmer, Lil' Kim, Tyra Banks, Sierra, and the girl groups 3LW and Destiny's Child, and of course Raven-Symoné, as well as many others. Essence magazine was a big source of inspiration for young black girls in the 2000s. Many of the women just listed have been featured in the magazine. Essence magazine is the oldest publication catered towards black American women, encouraging women's empowerment, nurturing black women's voices, and functioning as a safe space to articulate lived experiences. As a young girl myself, I was hyperfixated with these magazines. I would spend hours going through the images, reading the Q&As, just to get an understanding of my girlhood and what was to come as I navigate spaces as a black woman. Raven Baxter provides the same fixation for many black girls. In a study done on racialized girls aged 10 to 17, they were asked about their experience with how black women and girls are portrayed in the media. 64% believed representation in media was negative, while 9% acknowledged that there are some positive portrayals in music and television. What sets That's So Raven apart from the previous TV shows mentioned is that at the time, That's So Raven was one of the few age-appropriate TV shows with a predominantly black cast on a cable network. This exposed a generation of kids to a show centering a black girl and her family. Young black girls were truly seeing themselves represented on screen in a mainstream way. Minus the psychic powers, Raven Baxter was a relatively normal teenager. Her two best friends stayed by her side.
Everybody, how you doing? I'm gonna tell you something that I know you don't want to hear. You like a steak. That's why we have this for you.
Take away handmade organic locker deodorizer.
Yes, you got to deodorize.
Right.
Sensitize.
Well.
Hallelujah. So the steak won't rise and burn your eyes. Can I get a sniff this?
She had an annoying little brother.
The only thing that grows faster than the hair on your head is the hair on your lip.
And two supportive parents.
And now, the greatest present a teenage girl could ever want.
Oh, is it LeBron? Because I like him tall.
This enormously might not seem like a big deal on the surface, but in terms of on-screen representation for Black folk, this was monumental. The stereotypical depiction of being Black was challenged. That's the Raven even challenges the depictions in today's television. This was a show that had a fully Black, dark-skinned mom as a recurring character.
I don't mind that your mom has kids. I'm good with kids.
Max, my mama is married, okay? Let it go before it gets ugly.
The persistent commitment to colorism in today's media communicates to viewers that light skin equates to femininity, which is why we see a lot of mixed race or light skinned mothers in current television. That's why Raven didn't have that. They had Tanya, a Black, dark skinned mom. Raven herself does not fit in the caricatures of the mammy or the mulatto or Jezebel. She is simply Raven. She exists on screen while being a likable character. In every episode, young Black girls watching saw a curvy Black girl with superpower abilities and unmatched comedic timing. She was able to take up space while being her authentic self. Part of expressing her authenticity is seen through her wardrobe. Raven's fashion alone sets her apart. It is what many people looking back on the show comment on first. Through her fashion style, Raven Baxter inspired a generation of youth on how to present themselves and display their personalities through clothing. She served looks in every scene, from her hair to her boots. She was always put together. This idea of looking presentable and put together is instilled into young Black girls from an early age by their elders. My mom instilled in me the idea of always looking presentable when I stepped out of the house. Raven's fashion sense was just another way for Black girls who were told the same to relate to her. Not to mention, Raven has many crushes during the entirety of the show.
He is so...
Listen up, ladies. Precious new video. My name is Matthew. Hey.
The constant interest in boys reassured young girls that they too are deserving of love, an idea not commonly displayed on the screens of young Black girls. That's the Raven was an open display of Blackness on a cable channel. Black girls were able to see their Blackness represented authentically on screen. The characters organically spoken AAVE. Raven has catchphrases such as "Oh snap" or "That's my jam."
Raven, look at me! Look at me!
Oh, snap! A little nasty. Raven, who are you yelling at?
She even speaks in AAVE when communicating with adults, denying the need to code switch. Even the mannerisms of the characters is an open display of Blackness. Seeing Raven break it down to a knockoff Beyonce song, to seeing Eddie and Devon dap each other up, even Raven's facial expressions such as her killer side eye. All of it is done through Blackness and it feels authentic. Young girls watching had a show and main lead to fully relate to. In a time where Black girlhood lacks representation on screen, That's Raven is an authentic and relatable display of Blackness for Black young girls watching. With a record-breaking 4 seasons, there has yet to be a television show that conquers what That's What Raven does. During adolescent years, Black girls must see themselves in media that is intentional and meaningful. It directly influences how racialized children grow up to understand their self-identities. In a time where there is a lack of representation for this demographic, Raven Baxter is an influential and important depiction when it comes to navigating Black girlhood. I hope you enjoyed today's video. This is a new clip being inserted. This was a video essay I had to do for a class over this past semester. Decided to post it, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's talking about Raven, my favorite show. I absolutely adore That's Raven, so I just thought it'd be fun to actually share with more people other than those in my class. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was a little different, but I honestly kind of like doing this. If you guys like seeing my video essay, I can definitely do more. I like talking about, I'm a film major, so I like talking about TV, movies, you know, all that jazz. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.